Welcome back, everybody. So our Week 6 matchup for the Jets is a home game against Buffalo. So looking at Buffalo, a team who's really struggled this year. They got they lost to Cleveland last weekend. And Cleveland, man, Cleveland's bad. There's some bad teams in the NFL this year, like the Rams and the Bucks and the Chiefs and the Raiders, but Cleveland's bad. And the Bills lost to them at home. And I don't get why the Bills are struggling that much. They have talent on offense. Owens and Evans are very good receivers. Two good running backs are Marshawn Lynch and Fred Jackson. Defensively, they have some talent, although they've dealt with a lot of injuries. I've never been high on Trent Edwards at quarterback, and he's really struggled this year. It also appears that they've had some problems on the offensive line, and they really don't have a lot of faith in their head coach. So the Bills are 1-4. They're coming off, like I said, an embarrassing loss to the Browns. They got killed by the Dolphins a couple weeks ago. They lost, they hung tough with the Saints for a while, but ended up losing by, I think, 3 touchdowns. This is a game the Jets have to win. Rex Ryan called it a must-win. Some people think it's crazy to have a must-win in Week 6, but in reality, you can't be losing home games to Buffalo this year because Buffalo is just terrible. Doesn't mean, the Jets can't find a way to lose this division game, and usually division games find a way to be closer than they should be, but Jets got to come out and take care of business, and this is really going to be a gut check for their defense, who, has ran their mouth a lot, and I think with good reason through the first 4 weeks of the year, but it's coming off a pretty embarrassing performance. So, now it's about, reestablishing some respect. Look at Rex Ryan's defense last year. The Giants almost ran over 300 yards on them. The Ravens come back the next week and they whoop up on the Eagles, and I don't think anybody would say the Ravens had a bad defense last year, but they laid a couple eggs last year. They got beat up on by the Giants, got beat up on by the Colts. They still had a good defense. These things are going to happen. But the Jets need to come out this week against Buffalo, and they really need to have a shutdown performance. Buffalo can't be scoring more than 10 points. Buffalo has not been producing this year. They just scored 3 points against Cleveland. So if I'm on the Jets defense, I'm playing in front of my home crowd, who's going to be obviously fired up. It's a division game. We're trying to, get back on the winning track here. Just got to come out and take care of business. On offense, we want to keep building from last week. I don't really expect Jericho Cotchery to play this week, and if he does, I don't think it's a smart decision because it probably going to be limited again. So, let's go out. Let's keep building the chemistry with Edwards and, keep that going from last week because that looked great. Just got to find a way to get Dustin Keller involved, guy with one ball thrown to him last week, and that's really unacceptable because he's one of the toughest guys to match up with in the Jets offense, and, they've really underutilized him this year after he had a big game Week 1, almost had 100 yards in Week 1. So I think, that's something I heard Sanchez talking about this week, and I think you'll see more of a focus on getting the ball to Keller. I think you'll see Clowney and Brad Smith have a bigger role, especially if Cotchery's not playing. And the running game, man, you got to wonder how long with Thomas Jones, this is going to last before Sean Green starts taking more and more of his carries. The last couple of weeks, Green's really only taken a series in each game. He's only gotten 3 carries, but, Jones keeps putting up 13 carries for 40 yards. When do you shift to giving Jones 8 carries and Green 9, 10 carries and, staying with Leon's 10 or 11 carries? I don't know. We need to see more out of Thomas Jones. And it's not just him. Obviously it falls in the offensive line. I think the offensive line has played better the last couple of weeks, but they just got to get back to running the football. And, I think playing a team like Buffalo could be a chance to solve some of your problems, get your confidence back up, but, you got to go out there and do it. A lot of people, having fun, because I was so confident Jets are going to beat the Dolphins, and, I've said a lot of negative things about the Dolphins, and like they shut the Jets up, they shut me up, but it doesn't mean that I've lost or changed my opinion about this Jets team. Just because Darrelle Revis got beat on one play by Tenkett Jr., who I don't think is a good receiver. He's very fast, he's a talented athlete, he hasn't proven to be really a good NFL receiver yet. He ran by Revis. Revis isn't going to be perfect this year. Doesn't take away that Revis shut down Randy Moss, Andre Johnson, and Marcus Colston. I still would take Revis over any core in the league right now. I'm not going to change my opinion because of one play, Dan, which you're trying to convince me on my site. Same thing with their defense. I still think the Jets have a great defense. I think they had a great defense weeks 1 through 4. They had one bad performance, and I think they got to reassert that this week against Buffalo. And I still think the Jets are in first place in the AFC the last time I checked. So the Jets could go out, take care of business against Buffalo. They're going to stay in first place after 6 games in the season. And what else can you ask for? My prediction, I'm not going to get crazy here and predict Buffalo to beat the Jets because the Jets have lost the last couple weeks. And the Jets are going to come out and take care of business. And, Buffalo's not going to roll over for them. This is a divisional game, like I said, but I'm going to pick the Jets to win 20-7. this week and move to 4-2. You know, if the Jets lose to Buffalo this week, man, I might be shutting the site down because I can't be writing about teams who are losing to the Bills the way they've looked the last couple of weeks. I mean, oof. But I think the Jets are going to take care of business this week, and I think they're going to start building something towards, you know, a huge rematch with Miami in a few weeks. I mean, you know, let's be honest here. Jets got to beat Buffalo this week. They got to beat Oakland next week. Oakland's not even an NFL team. I don't know what Oakland is. They're certainly not an NFL team because the Giants were beating them 31-0 about 4 minutes into the game last week. The Giants are good, but I'm just saying. I mean, I think Oakland will put up more of a fight. They're an NFL team. But, you know, Jets got to get these next 2 wins and go back into that game against Miami in a few weeks at home and, you know, make a statement because they were embarrassed. Especially their defense was embarrassed, not their offense. And it'll be real interesting to see how the Jets come out of the gates this week. I'm very excited. I can't wait to get the taste of the Miami game out of my mouth and get to the stadium on Sunday and hopefully get back to a win, get back to putting some positive things up on my wall over here because it's been a while. And that's it from here. Lehigh University, if you're watching this, $25 parking ticket, man. Come on. You know, you're not giving me a lot of options here. I'm not happy about that. I'm just saying. But I am happy I just got 95 in my midterm. And yeah, I'm bragging about it because it was real hard. I spent like 18 hours working on it, so that's good. Anyway, Jets are going to win this week. We're going to 4-2. I'm feeling good, feeling a little better now. I got it out of my system. And we'll see everybody next week.
I'm riding solo, I'm riding solo, I'm riding solo.